morning, everyone. So to start off, I just want to explain that this week is going to be a little different and why. There's always a reason. So for many of you, most of you actually in this group that are here have been here since month one, meaning you've been going at this for about 4 months straight, okay? And it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's lifting or running or whatever sport that you're into. Maybe you take group classes, that kind of thing. I do have a standard about every 4 to 5 months or so. I will kind of pull back for about a week, maybe a couple days of whatever that activity is. And it's necessary for growth because your body is going to get burnt out. It's going to get tired. You're going to start to be like, blah. You lose the excitement for something that used to really excite you. So whatever that is for you, maybe it's running. If you feel yourself feeling super burnt out, maybe you're extra tired all the time or you're starting to get more injuries, it's time to take a couple days off, even a week off, and kind of go low impact in your life, okay? And the same goes for lifting weights. So every couple months or so, I will take a full week where I do not do any lifting at all. That doesn't mean I'm not doing movement. Maybe I'll sub it for something that I never get to try because I have the time, you know? Like maybe I go to a yoga class, or maybe I spend more time walking with my family. Whatever that is, taking one thing away is going to be a little bit of time for the rest. Now, even though I'm still giving you workouts, I do want you to shorten them a little bit if you are able to, but I want you to add something else to your life in the meantime. So let's say you do, because all of these are AMRAPs, so as many rounds as possible. And I'm kind of giving a range of 20 to 30 minutes. So maybe you cut all of these to 20 minutes, and then you're like, I'm gonna go for a 20 to 30 minute walk before work instead, or I'm gonna take my family on a walk this evening. Maybe you're like, I don't ever have time to go for a mile run after I get this done in the morning before work. So now I'm gonna do 20 minutes of core and then go out and run a mile and then come back. Maybe you've never tried to run a mile and this next week is your time to try that. So all that to say is you are gonna still have 3 workouts this week, and they're all gonna be recorded today because they're all as many rounds as possible workouts, and they're all, for the most part, low impact. There's a couple that have some higher impact cardio moves, but that's just one day per use, and you have an option to modify. But they are all core focused, okay? So we're centering ourselves, we're pulling back a little bit, we're going inside, we're literally working on the core, the center of everything. So maybe this is a week where you need to kind of peel back some layers and ask yourself, what is the core? What is the center? Maybe you just need to spend some time with yourself, getting to know yourself, in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. I know how much that can be. You don't even really have time to sit still and be with yourself, right? So this is your week for that. I'll be providing playlists. They're gonna be a little bit more chill than you're used to, but that is for a purpose. I am trying to kind of bring you back to planet Earth if you've been like, ah. And this time of year, most of us are, right? Like we're thinking about how literally we're in October and we're just gonna like stumble our way into the new year. We're thinking about Christmas, we're thinking about gatherings and squeezing dates in and all of these things. So this week, I kind of want you to give yourself a little bit of grace, go easy on yourself, and go to the center. So we're gonna go over day 1 first. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you all the moves. So day 1 is plank focused. You've done a day like this before. You're like, ugh. So don't worry. Just because you're just working your core doesn't mean you're not working everything else. We all know that upper body after plank day is trashed. So this is going to be 30 seconds of work and 15 seconds of recovery, as many rounds as possible, 20 to 30 minutes. It's all on you this week on regards to that. I'm gonna show you the different moves. I have this because my handy dandy notebook, Blue's Clues, anyone? Because we have a lot of moves and I don't wanna forget. So the first one's a regular plank. I will show it to you every single time because that's just who I am. You can do long arm. I'm gonna go this way. You can do forearm. You can do all sorts of things. I just want you right here, or you can go down on those forearms, or you can drop to your knees to modify, okay? Next, this one's gonna be maybe new for some of you, side plank, okay? So I want you to pay attention to my legs and stuff on this one, because if you're newer to side planks, you'll definitely want to pay attention. I like to go on my forearm instead of long arm because I don't like to just tear up my shoulder for no good reason. So I like to go on my forearm here. We're on the side, so choose one side, doesn't matter, you're gonna do both. So you'll do 30 seconds of one side and then do 30 seconds of the other. So you're gonna lift your hips off the ground so you can stack your feet, or I want you to pay attention to my foot. Put that foot in front and help lift up, okay? So this is a modification right here, is to put that foot in front and make sure to keep your hip from sinking, okay? That's where we're working that side core, otherwise you can stack your feet, okay? So you'll do 30 seconds on one side and then the other, and then we're gonna do what I call plank rockers. I just made that up. And you're gonna understand why I call them that. So this one, also a couple options. If you like to be long arm, that's okay. Be here, up on the toes, back, up on the toes, and back, okay? You're really just literally walking back and forth, or you can come down here, rock back and forth, okay? The last one that we're going to do is hip dips. You have seen these on a plank day before. You can do it on your knees or not. Forearms here, coming down, you're gonna tap one hip to one side, come to the center, tap on the other side, just like this, okay? If you wanna drop to your knees, you can do that too, okay? So, not a ton of exercises. After you do 1 or 2 rounds, you'll remember the sequence. 30 seconds of work, 15 seconds of recovery, as many rounds as possible. And if you need to rest in between rounds, totally fine. So that one's great. That one's day 1. It is super low impact. You can bring this one out anytime you need to. You can even tack it on to other workouts if you want. So, handy dandy notebook. Now, this one is the high impact one, but I will show modifications. Different timer, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. We're kind of getting your heart rate up just a little bit. As many rounds as possible, 20, 30 minutes, up to you. I want you to do full 30 minutes on these workouts if you're not planning on adding something else. But if you're like, I'm gonna try to jog for the first time, or I'm gonna hit up a mile or 2 after these workouts, you can shorten the workout time. Okay, so first one is plank jacks. You're like, I promise this is your only, no, I lied. There's a lot of, your upper body's gonna be sore, sorry. So plank jacks here, you're gonna go in a plank position first, long arm. You're gonna jump your feet out and then back in, okay? This is an unmodified plank jack. Modified, you're just gonna be in this plank position, tapping side to side, okay? Nothing too crazy. Next one is mountain climbers. You've also done these plenty of times. I'm gonna remind you, mountain climbers here, this is the unmodified. This is the modified, just a nice toe tap, okay? Nice strong plank. Plank jacks, mountain climbers, high knees. So this is a standing one. You've also done this one plenty of times. And you're like, I thought this was core. High knees is core. You're bringing your legs up to your center, and whether you realize it or not, your core is highly activated when you're doing moves like high knees. That's why if like, let's say this week, let's say you're not a runner and you try to go out and you run a mile, or even if it's a walk run, or if you go faster than normal and you notice, why is my core sore? All I did was run. That's why. Your core is heavily engaged and you don't even realize it. Sorry about all that. High knees. So remember, we're putting our hands up here, unmodified, bringing the legs up to the hands. This is from the side. Modified, you're still nice and tall. You're focusing, remember, on not bringing the body to the legs, but bringing the knees into the center, okay? So, high knees. All right, back to the floor. In and out hops here. If you slow these down, anybody can do these, okay? So I want you to start into a plank position again, out. You're gonna jump the feet in, tuck them, out, in, out. Now, you can make these fast as you want, or you can keep them slow. Your heart rate's still gonna get up, but it's a nice modification to just pace that movement, and that is what I want you to try this time. Last one here is Russian twist. You can add a dumbbell if you want. You do not have to. So unmodified. First of all, I like to sit myself up nice and tall before I lean back, because otherwise you look like this. Okay, so nice and tall. Then I want you to pull away from your knees a little bit. Lift the legs off the ground, like a boat pose first, and then go into these Russian twists, okay? Like row and a boat, row and a boat. So this obviously is the unmodified because my feet are off the ground. You can modify, put your heels on the ground, still lean back, just like this, okay? There's almost a modification for everything. So that was day 2, 40-20, AMRAP, plank jacks, mountain climbers, high knees, in and out hops, Russian twists. That's the hardest one. You're gonna love this one because it's mostly laying down. So this one is very similar to that first one in regards to time. We're gonna do 30 seconds again of work and 15 seconds of rep, sticking with the AMRAP, 20 to 30 minutes. And maybe you're like, I really enjoy this. Instead of going and doing something else on top of it, I'm gonna make these workouts longer. Whatever, they're mostly low impact, so you do you. You can combine these workouts even, like do the cardio one with one of the low impact ones. These are great pairings for other things that you're doing. Okay, so most of these are on your back, so make sure you have a mat or something. We're gonna do heel reaches. So scoot your booty down. You're gonna lay all the way flat for a moment. You're gonna bring your heels outside of the glutes. So you don't want them like here, like you're about to do a bridge. You want them out, okay? Walk the feet out just a little bit. You don't want them super close. You wanna work for it a little bit. You're gonna bring your upper body a little bit off of your mat, towel, whatever, and then you're gonna reach for each heel. If you can touch it, great. If not, that's okay. Just keep trying. One side you might be able to reach, and maybe the other you absolutely cannot. But these are really going to, this will obviously hit here, but it's gonna hit the obliques as well, okay? So if you wake up the next day and you're super sore over here on your love handles, that is why. So single leg lower, so we're gonna stay on our back here. Couple different options. You can put your hands underneath your tailbone and have your legs up here and drop your legs one by one into a hover, okay? Keeping the core nice and tight. This is a nice modified option. If you are going unmodified, I want you to kind of peel the chest and the upper body off of that mat, straighten the legs out a little bit more, and do it like this, okay? You're gonna start to shake, and that's okay. The core is working, all right? So, there you go. Flutter kicks, we all know those, and they suck, but okay. But we're gonna keep these simple. I almost want everyone to put something underneath your tailbone here, just a little bit of help on the lower back. Your legs are gonna go straight out to a hover, so your heels, your feet are not touching the floor, and you're just gonna kick, 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 keeping those legs up and the core engaged, okay? Yeah. If you ever need to take a break, bring those knees into the chest, take a deep breath, and then go back into the movement. The next one is hard, okay? If you just do a couple of them and you need to take a rest and then go back in, please do it. So you're gonna bring your knees into the chest. I'm like, what are words? Knees into the chest, almost like a little ball, and then everything expands together. So arms come out, legs come out, swimming back in. Notice nothing touched the ground. Out to a hover, swoop back in. Out to a hover, aye, scoop back in. Out to a hover, Scoot back in. If you can't tell, my shoulders are completely, my neck are completely off the ground as well. Okay, so take a deep breath on those. Reverse crunch. You're gonna like, this is gonna be your favorite move because I feel like they're fun. Like you're kicking the air. I don't know. So, I keep my hands underneath my tailbone for this one as well. You do not have to if that does not feel good to you. I want you to flex your feet. So instead of pointing your toes, flex your feet. We're gonna kick up towards the ceiling and then come back down. So we're gonna go up. My butt, shout. Up and down right here. If you wanna do a combo move and tap the heels down and then bring it up, you absolutely can. Otherwise, you can just continuously kick up, okay? So that's day 3. 30-15 AMRAP, heel reaches, single leg lowers, flutter kicks, swimmers, that's what I call this, swimmers, and reverse crunch. So 3 different workouts, all really heavily hitting on the core, the center. I'm going to post the workout descriptions, like as in day 1 and all the moves, day 2, day 3, along with playlists and the link so that you can watch this. Remember, you can watch this all the way through and like look at all the stuff and write it down, or maybe day 1, you watch the first 5 minutes and then come back. Whatever you need to do. The only thing that I'm asking is that you don't overcompensate this week. So just because you're doing a little bit less in regards to lifting, I don't want you to like go kill yourself in other areas. That's not the point of what a recovery week is. Find some gentle movement, try something new, give yourself grace, go for walks, go for runs without music, find some time to be with yourself, even if it's for 20 minutes where you just reflect and center yourself again before you go into a really demanding and draining season of the year. I just want you to be mentally prepared and your heart to be full. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, enjoy your week.